Understanding how leadership works can help you construct a route for the future, no matter where you are in your career. This podcast is here to help you get started and stay motivated. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Leadership Loading Podcast. Join our host, Jason McLaren, as he interviews experts and shares advice on how to pursue a better life using different tools, techniques, motivation, and encouragement. Because leadership is an uphill climb, this podcast will teach you the ideas, techniques, and process of becoming a transformative leader. This is the Leadership Loading Podcast. Leadership Inspired.
Hey, it's Jason McLaren with the Leadership Loading Podcast, and today we're talking about leadership and great mindsets, and with Porfirio Renteria. I think I rolled the R's right there. It's a mouthful to say. But he has integrated his passion for comedy as a former professional comedian and businessman and applied it to himself, to the business world, and taken his small business from a small investment to $100,000 a year. And he's going to talk about that today, and we'll just kind of go off that and talk about some leadership mindsets and great actions we can take in our own on our own endeavors. So, Alonzo, as you go by, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate talking about this topic. And first of all, I want to say thank you to your audience, and what an honor to be able to speak in this platform.
Definitely. So tell us a little bit about your background, being in the comedy business and then moving over into your transportation space.
I started doing comedy at around 19. Kind of caught the bug. I'm originally from Chicago, but I caught the bug at 19 and I wanted to do that. And so I pursued that in Texas. Actually, I'm from San Antonio now, so I moved with my family, but I got involved in that world. And believe me, that's a tough industry, but I managed to stick it out for 20 years and achieve those goals because I was going after what I wanted to do. And it helped me a lot in a lot of areas of my life. And so as I was growing and learning and applying, I've taken that principles onto the business world as well, because we're dealing with people. And so the humor in it has allowed me to deal with people, break the ice, have a rapport. And so that's been a very interesting combination that I've been able to mesh and make it work for me.
Definitely. I bet you that helped, maybe not with the comedy part, but maybe with just being social on getting your own business off the ground.
Exactly. And again, also even you tap into creative mind and you kind of think out of the box, and it helps with a lot of other areas too that are important for whatever you're trying to achieve.
Definitely. So let's talk about your current business and kind of how you got into that.
Currently, I'm an owner operator in the trucking industry. Again, I never went to truck driving school. I never did that formality like a lot of people. I took the bull by the horns, and I started working for some other owners. And when I saw the potential of how much money they were making and being an owner operator, it took me about 10 weeks. I was working with Amazon, and so during their high season, their high peak, I managed to save $10,000 in 10 weeks. And that's what I needed to put the down payment on my truck. And so like the following year of 2017, January, I was able to achieve that goal. And now I've been an owner operator for 5 years on my own truck. And at the very minimum, I've made over 6 figures, and I've surpassed that a couple years in a row.
That's great. So I think a lot of people have the misconception, it sounds like, that you have to go to a truck driving school in order to drive trucks, but that's not true.
That's not true because now, I mean, the laws change every so often, every so years, and I think this year changed a little bit. I was reading something on the DOT, and I think it pertains to the LED, which is the way you just log on your electronically versus the old book logs. But other than that, anybody can really achieve that goal. And hopefully here I'll plug some info and show them how they can do that. I was talking to someone just last night, and I was showing them the process of how I did it and so he was really excited. I said, man, you don't have to pay thousands of dollars to go get your CDL, and I'll just throw a little carrot there for those that are hopefully listening, because you can get it with a few $100s.
That's great. I think I always thought you had to go like this, 6 or 8 week school and deal with all that to get the license. So it's definitely an avenue for people that want to look at it.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm not knocking school, and I think if that's how you feel that you should go, that's fine. But there's one or two things that held me back from actually learning about the truck, because yes, it's a bigger truck. You're talking over 53 foot plus trailer plus tractor, so it can get a little bit overwhelming and it can get challenging. But once I was able, my problem is downshifting this big truck from it's a 10 speed. So, but once I learned that, I had two guys that showed me, and I felt like I've been driving trucks for 30, 40 years. So once you really overcome that fear, or at least understand it and try to overcome it, you tap into the potential that we all have.
Yeah, I think that kind of just shows that everything you hear is not true, and that you can you really need to do your own research. Because, like I said, I thought it was probably a forever long school you had to go to.
No, it's no different than getting your regular Class C license. It's really
Right.
no different. Obviously, yes, there's a huge difference from a semi truck to a car, but as far as the precept of, hey, I got to go to driving school to get my license, that's not really the case. That, or at least for me, that's what I've experienced.
So what kind of challenges did you face launching your own business? Any hurdles you had at the beginning you had to face?
Yeah, because my credit is not that great, and that's a challenge, and it's been a challenge. I'm still working on it, and unfortunately, sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit more in order to achieve your goals, in order to achieve what you're trying to do. So that part comes into play. And once you're there, once you have a plan, something set in stone, and you're able to achieve that, then you're like, man, there's nothing really that you can achieve. It's just preparing yourself, try to get that support from family, and make sure everybody's on board.
Yeah, I think that's a key aspect, is getting your family on board, or really anybody, whether your
Just
family.
your support. I think the persons that are in your life that will hinder you or help you. If everybody's on that same page, then that's going to be awesome, and you're going to see the results because everybody's striving for that.
Yeah, and really with anything, you have to have that backbone and people supporting you. I think that's mindful in starting your own business, or even moving into a higher career or something like that. So it's just something you need to be aware of.
Exactly. Have a game plan, execute, and make sure you're on track, and go through any hurdles, challenges, because you're going to have them. Even once you're there, other challenges present itself that you didn't think of. And it's just learning to deal with those challenges in a positive manner, because like every season, there's a season of shine, season of rain, season of weather, cold, but every season will pass.
Definitely. So Alonzo, if I ran into you at the truck stop and you had 1 minute to give me a leadership tip, as we went on our way, what would you say?
I would tell you, if you're serious about this, first of all, I don't have a problem helping you. I will give you my information and let you know that if you have any questions or if I can help you in any way, just let me know. But what I would tell you is that don't be limited by your beliefs or unbeliefs. Is learn, get the information you need, and then try it and apply it and see, with some support, you can achieve anything. You can accomplish truck, where I'm at now, driving, having your own truck, being the owner.
Definitely, no doubt. All right, Alonzo, well, how can we get a hold of you if we want to ask you some questions?
I have an email, which it's called sixfiguropro879@gmail.com. And of course, I'm on Facebook as well. Or, I can give you my number if I can do that, and you guys can text me. But I think if you email me first, definitely, man, whoever's listening or interested, I'll be more than happy to show them and give them an idea. And if anything, give them some information or better direction, or, just either teach them or coach them or help them out in any which way I can.
Yeah, go for it.
So my number as well is 210-449-0278. If you text me, just put regarding the program or the podcast, I'll respond a lot faster.
Awesome. Thanks, Alonzo. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
There are thousands of leadership and management podcasts to choose from. We're glad you chose the Leadership Loading Podcast, a Go Heroes production. If you'd like to support Go Heroes Inc., visit www.goheroes.org. And with that, it's time to wrap up today's show. Thank you so much for listening. We sincerely hope you liked it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with your family and friends. Let's all grow together. Thanks for listening to the Leadership Loading Podcast. Leadership Inspired. There are thousands of leadership and management podcasts to choose from. We're glad you chose the Leadership Loading Podcast, a Go Heroes production. If you'd like to support Go Heroes Inc., visit www.goheroes.org. And with that, it's time to wrap up today's show. Thank you so much for listening. We sincerely hope you liked it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with your family and friends. Let's all grow together. Thanks for listening to the Leadership Loading Podcast. Leadership Inspired.